Assalamualaikum. Our group is OS Kali Linux. So I'm going to show you about my group demo. That is to explain how we design and configure the network. Firstly, we will download the Oracle VirtualBox and Debian 11 in website, and we create two virtual machine. First, we create the server, and second, we will create the client. After that, we will change the network that in server we change the adapter 1 to NAT and adapter 2 as a internal network. After that, in client, we will make the internal to we will make the adapter 1 to internal 2. Okay. So as you can see, first we will check the hostname in. First we will check the hostname in the server. So we will type this command and it show that our hostname is OS class. So that's what I name it. And second, we will check the instead our server is ping to is the correct ping. So as you can see, our server in the correct IP that is 192.168.50.1. After that, we will check the IP address. So you can see in this we have the correct IP address. And we clear this, and I want to discuss with you about what's the difference with static and dynamic. First, static is fixed and does not change, while dynamic can change anytime. And static has a determinant less flexible, but the dynamic is more flexible. And one more thing is static is usually simple and easy to use, while dynamic is usually more adaptable. So that's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hakim Omar, and I will be demonstrating my part, which is DHCP. So first, we will ping the server machine with Google to see that it still have internet access. We put -C4 to limit the amount of packet we send. And as you can see, all 4 packet is received and no packet is lost in the transmission. Next, we will test the connectivity between the server machine and the client machine. So this, and as you can see, all 4 packets is received with no packet loss. So next, we move on to the client machine, where we will ping it we ping the client machine to the server machine to show that the connectivity between these two machines. First, 168.254. Put -CN4 to limit. And again, for packet received is no loss. Next, we will ping it with both the network access to both the internet and Google. We first ping network first. As you can see, it's failed to ping the network. So just yep. 84 packet transmitted and all of them are lost. None were received by the network. Next we ping Google. Oh yeah. To make sure that the client machine really does not have any access to the network. There we go. www.google.com network service not known. So that should prove that this is proof that the client machine does not have any access to the network in any way. So that's all for my demonstration of my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Saim Afiq bin Zubaidi, and today I will present my part, which is the SFTP. So firstly, we have to connect to the client, which is this our group name, which is our Kali Linux, and as well as our IP address. So firstly, we have to check our working directories. So it will show that our working directory is at our root, and then we're listing out our root where we have our uploads, and then we change our working directory to uploads, and then we're listing out our uploads. Then we get the test folder and also the test uploaded txt that me and my team members we use it as an example. So next, we're listing out all of our files, so which is all our file, and then we create our file for text1.txt. The purpose of creating the text1.txt is because we want to test if our SFTP is working or not, because I want to upload the text1.txt into the client and delete it, and also recover from the server. So if we got to recover the text1.txt, then our SFTP is work. So next, I create the text1.txt, and we're listing out, and as you can see, the text1.txt is successfully uploaded. So next, we put our text1.txt into the uploads folder. As you can see, we put it into home student text1.txt, and the test1.txt is successfully uploaded into the net. As you can see, when we listing out our uploads, yes, you can see the test1.txt is successfully uploaded. Okay, and then we try to fetching up our test1.txt, where is my command get test1.txt, and then fetching upload test1 to test1.txt, and then we can check on our listing out where before this VLS, and we got no test1 here, but after we fetching and it recover, so that the LS when we listing out and the test1 is already uploaded. So we can see that our XFTP is successful, and next we have to return to the root directory, and you can see our test1.txt is in the root directory. And after that, we have to return to our root directory and uploads, and also we have exit, and that's all for me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nafazana Afina. Today I will present about my part, which is web server. So a web server is used to host and deliver web page to user. In our project, Apache 2 acts as the web server on Debian. So when a client enters the server's IP address, then Apache 2 will receive the request and send back the web server to the user. So in server, we need to install the Apache first. And then we need to start and enable the service. And then check for the status. So now the status is active. So in client, we need to enter the server IP address. So the testing was successful because the client machine could access the web page. That's all.
So before we get started, first thing first, I want to tell you about the usage of database. Actually, database is an organized collection of digital data designed for rapid search and updating. It has a secure structure filling system that prevent data for and powers modern application, from simple mobile apps to massive global enterprise system. So firstly, I will install MariaDB in server and client. So I choose MariaDB because it's one of the database that easy to use and is open source. After that, I will secure the installation in server and start and enable MariaDB in server. After that, I will enter the database and start create and insert the database in the user. After that, I will allow the remote controller in server to connect with client, and I will ping client IP address in server, so client and server can connect to each other. After that, I will enter the database in client to make sure that client can access the database from the server. So as you can see here, I succeed to connect the client and database. Client to database. So I will show you some demo in my database part. So we as client, we want to access the database from the server from the server. First, we will run some command to access in the server. We enter the password, but eventually the access is denied because the server not give access yet to the client. So how do we get the access? Firstly, we go to the server and we will run this command, grant all privilege. First we will go to the MariaDB and enter the password. So in database, we will run this command, grant all privilege, and we will all flash privilege. So now in client, we'll have the access the database. I will give you an example. Yeah. So we test if we get the table or not. So as you can see, we succeed to connect the client and server, and it is show that client can see or access the database server. So that's all for me. Thank you.
So Naufal, what database do you use in this project and why do you use it?
MariaDB is my choice because it's an open source, lightweight and easy to manage on Linux and compatible with my SQL.
And also Naufal, how do you allow the client to access the database?
Initially, the client cannot access the database because remote access is disabled. So the server administration grants permission by creating a user and allowing access to the client IP address. Once permission is given, the client can connect to the port 3306. Zain, I want to ask a question about your part, that is SFTP. I want to know what protocol that is run over.
Yes, I made the SFTP part. So basically, SFTP runs a subsystem of SSH, and it is on port 22. And also, it is fully encrypted. So basically, the difference between FTP and SFTP is FTP sends credential and data in plain text. Meanwhile, the SFTP avoids that by using the SSH encryption and authentication.
Just now you mentioned about SSH and SFTP. May I know what is the function of SSH and SFTP?
Yes, the difference between SSH and SFTP is SSH stands for secure shell, and it provides a secure and encrypted connection between the client and the server. SFTP uses SSH to transfer files safely over a network.
So for our OS mini project, right, you did the web server, right? So I was wondering if our web server suddenly receive an error, how can we check where the error is?
First, you need to check for the Apache status. Second, you need to check if port 80 is listening. And then ping the server from the client. And lastly, check the firewall settings.
I see. Also, I was also wondering, what is the role of the root document?
Document root stores the website files that Apache serves to clients. So Hakim, you need the DHCP part, right? Can I know why do we need a DHCP server? Why not just set IP address manually?
Configuring IP manually takes too much time and cause mistake, like giving two devices the same address. Our Debian DHCP server automate this process by instantly assigning a unique IP address to every device that connects. This saves time, prevent IP conflict, and the address was the device with.
I see. How do you check if your Debian DHCP server is running correctly?
We run system CTS status ISC DHCP server in the terminal to see if the server show an active div status. If it fails, we check the system log using the tail command to quickly find out which line in our configuration file has an error.